All right, so 105.7 Radio Metro, where it's all about the music. And right now, thanks to our sponsor, Event Cinemas, we are talking about films today, and we're really excited to be having a chat today to two Brisbane boys that have set the that have set the box office on fire around the world. Literally, I'm talking about Colin and Cam Cairnes. How are you guys?
Good.
Very well, thank you. How are you going?
Excellent.
We'll
Very,
take
really well, thank you. Really well.
Thank you.
Look, I've had the pleasure of watching your film a couple of times. I'm pretty sure I don't need to be the first person to say to you, congratulations, it's phenomenal. But I'd really love to know what your elevator pitch was to get this film off the ground.
Gosh, what was it?
You know,
Um,
people have
uh,
come up with really good
yeah.
ones after we've made it, and that's often the way with us. We're hopeless at pitching, really bad at it. Just ask our agents. But people after the fact have said, "Oh, it's what is it? Rosemary's Baby meets Network is one.
Yeah.
I think that was Kevin Smith came up with that one.
I think Roy Lee's was it's Larry Sanders meets The Exorcist.
Yeah, yeah. Works for me.
Yeah.
If we'd had these like 10 years ago, maybe the film, we'd be onto our fifth film by now, basically.
But I'm not sure we ever got around to performing the elevator pitch. I think we were just lucky enough to get the script on the desk of Roy Lee, and hopefully, that the quality of the script was what got us over the line, and plus we had some visual material as well. We could share a pitch deck and a sizzle thing as well. So yeah, we never actually had to do the elevator pitch, which is fortunate, really.
Which is every filmmaker's dream, to get a film up without having to pitch it.
Can I talk to you a little bit about the scripting process for this film?
The scripting, yeah. Look, sometimes we're really fast and we turn around a script in 4 months, 6 months. This one was more like 6 to 8 years.
Wow.
Was it well, I mean, we had a first draft early on, but it was awful. Frankly, it was just unreadable. I've looked at it recently. It's embarrassing. But sometimes it just takes a bit longer. We always thought we had a cool hook, if I can use the word, like it was a cool concept. It was just, but yeah, it took several years of honing and many false starts, bringing on friends of ours who are also writers and getting their feedback and their input. And I think it was really only once we nutted out this character of Jack Delroy, the host of Night Owls, and his kind of emotional baggage and what he's been through and what he's trying to achieve, that the script started to flow a bit better, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's really interesting, the structure of this. I mean, obviously, we're talking about 1977. It's my birth year, so it's going to be an amazing film straight off the bat.
Yeah, of course.
Year that Star Wars came out. I mean, it's a great
Yeah.
year, 77. It's a good choice.
The best year of the 70s. Yeah.
I want to talk really briefly about what I think is the best culmination of the 1970s in one clip at the very start, and the fact that you got the legendary Michael Ironside to voice this.
Yeah.
How did that even come about?
When it came time to record the voiceover, I mean, that sequence took a while to put together, because we were just constantly rewriting it, and it came down to sort of what access we could get to the footage, to the library footage, and also just creating all the graphics and that stuff. It was a complicated sequence to put together. And we then obviously had to think about who was going to voice this. So Michael was right at the tippity top of that list. And we just threw him out there thinking, well, we'll never get him, but let's just see. A wonderful producer, Matt Gavoni, managed to track him down, I guess found his agent, and he was totally up for it. I don't know what the pitch was to him, but but I guess something appealed to him. Maybe it was the period it was set in. It was wonderful. When he came in, he was just the loveliest, sweetest guy, had some great stories to share about his experiences on scanners and Total Recall, and it was like 3 a.m. for us, I think, when we recorded it. So it was just like, yeah. This very weird pre-dawn experience, listening to Michael Ironside,
Yeah.
deliver these lines that we'd written. And as soon as he opened his mouth and said, America, the 1970s, we were just like, oh my God, you don't get any direction from us. Yeah.
We've had a few.
That would have been an amazing moment.
It's so cool. We've had a few pinch me moments like that, and one very recent one. Like we were in LA till about 2 days ago for the release there, and we were our last day in town. We thought we'd go to Universal City Walk and check out the multiplex there. It's like one of the busiest in America, and we parked the car, which is always difficult for us in America. And then we're walking out of the car park into the mall, and who do we bump into but Joe Dante and his wife? The legendary director of Gremlins, The Howling, you name it. And so I just yelled out, Joe, Mr. Dante, hi, we're Colin Cameron, we're brothers from Australia. And he stopped us and said, guys, I just saw your film. And mine's blown. Like he'd just seen our movie. To tell us, like as 10-year-olds, when Gremlins is probably our favorite movie of all time, that, in 35 years or whatever, you're gonna meet this director walking out of your film. We'd have said you're kidding, but it was a magical moment. He enjoyed the film, fortunately, and he's telling all his
That's
mates
He has some
about it.
notes. He has some notes.
Yeah, had some notes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
But we'll address those in the director's cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. As long as you said you didn't have any notes about Gremlins, I think you'd be okay.
Yeah.
Gremlins 2 maybe, but no.
Yeah, Gremlins 2, definitely. And I guess I want to bring it back a little bit to the movie as well. So, yeah, I mean, speaking about star power, I mean, to get David Dastmalchian to come in and do this film, I hear that was a very unique process to get him on board. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Unique process. Yeah, look, it happened really quickly. Once Roy Lee and Steven Schneider came on board, our American producers, talk turned quickly to who do we get to play Jack Delroy? I mean, he's the linchpin. And and around that time, I think I'd read an article written by David in Fangoria magazine, which was basically, it was him talking about his favorite horror TV hosts from the 60s and 70s. Like back then in America, you may remember Elvira, and there's a guy called Svengoolie. These guys who you'd stay up late, 10:30, and they'd play a cheesy old movie, and then they'd do their intro and a little skit or something in between the showing of the film. So he spoke really passionately about this world, and it just seemed to make sense that not only is he a genre fan, but he's also a fan of that world, that TV world. So already it just felt like a good fit, and of course, just knowing him as an seeing him perform in these wonderful big scale Hollywood films and these smaller roles, but always just totally compelling and captivating. So knowing he had this amazing talent as an actor, but also this frame of reference in horror, just was indispensable in the making of this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he really just makes the entire movie, and obviously the film hinges on him and his performance, and he embodies it so beautifully. I mean, I could talk to you guys for ages. The production design on this is phenomenal. It looks amazing the entire time I watched it. I saw it as a screener, and then I saw it with an audience. And I think the most beautiful thing about this is that you need to see it with an audience. It's like a good comedy. It's like a good horror film. You don't really get fully invested into those little funny moments, those little scary moments until you sit in a room with people to have that communal experience. Was that something that was very important for you guys going into this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we love it's great to see in the last few years that people are coming back to the theaters, and after all the troubles with the pandemic, and they're building new cinemas in America and Australia, which is really encouraging. So for us, we wanted to make it a really cool, immersive cinematic experience, which is a little bit ironic because it's a TV show. It's something that, ostensibly was seen on crappy little analog TVs back in the day. But it was important for us that it was immersive and that the audience felt like they were there that night, whether in the audience, in the studio audience, which I think is the kind of vibe people get in a theater. If it's a full room of 100, 200 people, you feel like you're there in the crowd. But then I think watching it at home on TV, you know, then it will start to have a more nostalgic vibe about it as well, like you are watching it. You know, it'd be nice if people decided to put the DVD in, or you know, started at 10:30 when the show would have begun, and have that at-home experience as well. So it can work either
Yeah.
way.
I love it. One really last quick question, and I'd be, you know, wouldn't be doing the right thing if I didn't ask, but the conversations about the AI within the film, what's the feeling been for you guys, and what's
When
the
you say
comments
AI,
around
do you mean that stands for Australian ingenuity? Is that the AI?
Australian ingenuity? Yeah, the Australian
Yeah, we're all
ingenuity in
for
the
it.
film.
We're all for that. That's what we're all about. That's what made this film happen. It's Australian, Aussie inventiveness, ingenuity, hard work, creativity, labor of love for a lot of people, all of whom got paid. You know, so yes, we did dabble with it when it was a real novelty 18 months ago. And which is not to say that, look, it's a tool and people are using it every day. That's the thing. Like, if it's brought attention to it and starts a conversation, great. Is it something that we want to use a lot more? I don't know that we do. I mean, it's for anyone to say that this film has been created and designed by bots is like, it's outrageous. And I don't know, a lot of the outrage is just a bit over the top, I think, but I do understand where people are coming from, especially after the strikes, or the talk of AI. You know, the conversation has changed, but you know what? It's going to keep changing. In 6 months or 12 months, people's views on these things, they're going to keep evolving. So, you know, if it's a conversation started, great. If people want to boycott the film, they can do that too. That's up to them. They're going to miss out.
Well,
They're going to miss out on a really fun time at the movies.
and that's exactly what I was going to say, Cameron. I'm sure that you're the same with that, because this film is absolutely extraordinary. I was excited as soon as I saw the first preview, and it did not disappoint 1 minute. So, gentlemen, as I said, I could talk to you for ages. I know our time is up. I just want to thank you so much for creating an amazing movie, and I can't wait to see what the Cairnes brothers are going to do next. But between now and then, Late Night with the Devil is out everywhere, so please go and check it out. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time today. Congratulations, and can't wait to see what happens next.
Thanks so much, Adam.
Right, Adam. Cheers.